Hey guys, thanks for joining me for another Dokkan Battle video, and the 6th anniversary has just started, and I am spitting out videos like crazy. I just did a couple of summon videos. Please check them out if you haven't gotten to yet. There are some pretty fire summons in there, so yeah, definitely want to check those out. What I'm going to do in this video is everybody got a red dragon stone upon login, and so I'm going to tell you who I think you should get with the red dragon stone. Now, it's obviously going to vary depending on your box, so I'll just give some kind of general ideas of like what the best units are to pick, and then based on your box, make the decision that's best for you. Now I'm going to go ahead and say flat out, I personally have every unit here rainbowed, so I'm going to be picking up my favorite unit, Elder Kai, so that's who I'm going to trade for. So I just picked up an Elder Kai. I mean, I've already got 220 something plus of them, but you can't ever have too many Elder Kais, right? So that's who I selected, was Elder Kai, but that's probably not who you want to select, assuming you don't have all these rainbowed. Now, if you're someone that has a lot of them rainbowed, you obviously just pick the best unit you can that you don't have rainbowed. But in general, I'm going to highlight some of the best units. The Strength Gogeta is okay. But if you have Ink Gogeta, you probably don't need to pick him up. However, with the same name update coming, if you really like fusions and want to run the fusion team, you could run the Strength Gogeta and the Ink Gogeta, so he isn't the worst card to pick up. AGL Goku, no. Texel, you probably don't want him. That Gohan's terrible, you don't want him. The Broly's not good, you don't want him. And these are units, by the way, that have already EZA'd, and they're outdated because they were early EZAs. So there's not really any hope of them getting better in the future. So you definitely want to avoid them. Full Power Frieza is definitely okay. If you really like Wicked Bloodline, I mean, there aren't really a lot of full power Friezas in the game, so he could be an okay choice. He hits decently hard, but he's definitely a little dated. Tech Beerus hits really hard, but he's way outclassed by the physical Beerus. Once again, unless you're waiting for the same name update and you want to run them both, you definitely can, but he wouldn't be my first choice. Int Janemba, to me, would be one of your top picks. Yes, the STR Janemba has its EZA, but honestly, they're both about equally good. Which isn't a bad thing, because this Int Janemba was basically overpowered when he came out. He was ahead of his time, and so even today, he is still a fantastic unit. So Int Janemba definitely is a good choice you could pick. Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta also could be a good choice if you don't have him. If you have him, it's not that important to get dupes into him, but he's just a good defensive tank, and you can use him in some really difficult events. But if you already have him, I wouldn't go for a dupe. I'd rather get a dupe on something like Int Janemba. Physical Kid Boo's a great support unit. He just gets hit really hard, so it's up to you if you want to take him or not. I do still use Kid Buu all the time, so he's a decent pickup, especially if you like running the Majin Power team and want to have like all those Buu units together. But he's just good on like, you can run him with anybody, right? His support works on anyone. Ultimate Gohan AGL, nope, he's bad. That Kid Buu AGL is really bad. Don't get him. Tech Super Saiyan 3 Vegeta is really bad. Int Cell's definitely decent. If you like cell units, he still wouldn't be my top choice. He's just an okay unit. The STR Goku there is really bad. Ultimate Gohan is bad. Strength Beerus is okay. He's a good support unit. I believe it's for worthy rivals. And he can hit decently hard. Wouldn't be my top choice, but once again, it's going to depend on what your box is. STR Topo is fantastic. He would be one of my top choices to pick up. He's a ridiculous support unit on a lot of good teams, especially for this celebration, because there's a lot of Universe Survival Saga and Realm of Gods, which are teams that he is on, and he's a great support for those teams. So yes, Strength Topo to me would be one of the best choices. AGL Dispo is a terrible choice. This Vegeta is just okay defensively if he stacks a little bit, but he's not your priority. This Majin Buu is good against Buu Saga, but otherwise you wouldn't really use him, so I wouldn't pick him up. This Goku's okay because he can do like stunning and stuff in Super Battle Road, but he's still not like the greatest unit. I probably wouldn't pick him up. Int Cooler is a really solid support unit, but he gets hit really hard and he's getting a bit dated and he's already been EZA'd. So if you want him just as a pure support, even though he gets hit hard, pick him up, but otherwise I might avoid that Cooler. This Int 13 is pretty bad. This Nova Shenron's an okay support unit, but his team isn't that great right now. Shadow Dragon Saga still needs more help, I feel like. So he probably wouldn't be your highest priority because he's limited to just that team. Whereas something like Topo, you're going to get way more use out of, right? The family Kamehameha trio is not very good. Plus, they give them out on Gohan, Goku, and Goten Day, so you don't want to pick them up with this stone anyways. So I would just avoid those. This Vegeta and Trunks, they're pretty decent support units, but they're pretty old, so I might avoid them. This Strength Gohan isn't very good. Caulifla and Kale are also, like, they're fairly decent too. So, like, if you like Universe 6 and you like the Kale and Caulifla girls, you could pick these two up. I'll be honest, on my main Universe 6 team, I actually don't run either of these. And it's not that these two are bad, it's just because, like, I love the Strength Kale and Tech Caulifla so much more, and by the time I fill out my team, I just don't have room for these two. But they're both good, so they're decent pickups. So out of everything I've seen here, honestly, if you're someone that like doesn't have any of these units or you're a very new player, my number one pick would actually be Strength Topo. There is so much utility in that Strength Topo. You easy A him, he gets damage reduction, he's a crazy support, he hits decently hard. He is just fantastic. So I think my number one pick out of all of this would be Strength Topo or Inchanemba. Now, the argument for Inchanemba over Topo is that Inchanemba is a Dokkan Fest exclusive and they never put him on banners, right? So Janemba is way harder to get, so if you don't have either of them, you're probably better off picking up Janemba, because odds are, like, as you summon on banners, like, this Topo will just show up for you. And he is, I think, featured on the free ticket banner, so that's something else to consider as well, right? So, in terms of, like, units I use more often, I definitely use the Topo more, but I would say if you do need any of these Dokkan Fest exclusives, so everything from this Janemba up, these are all Dokkan Fest exclusives, so you would want to prioritize them if you really want them because they don't appear on banners. But out of all of these, like, yeah, it's got to be in Janemba. The Strength Gogeta, like I said, he's a solid pickup as well. But everything else is honestly not that great, and it's up to just personal preference. So that's pretty much who I think you guys should use your Red Dragonstone on, or unless you're like me, if you have everything rainbow, then pick up a Kai. Alright guys, thanks for watching, and we'll catch you on the next one.